Joining me right now with reaction, economist Don Luskin. Donald, he's talking about economic stimulus plans, a payroll tax cut, perhaps some tax cuts for the industries affected. Would that help mitigate some of this pain right now as we deal with a very challenged economy?
Oh, definitely. In fact, I think we'd serve ourselves well by not thinking of it as stimulus. I would think of it as a kind of an economic vaccination. We can see trouble coming. It's coming from an exogenous source. It's a bolt from the blue. We can immunize ourselves against this by targeting help at those portions of the economy that through no fault of their own are affected by this. So suppose you're running Disneyland and all of a sudden an edict comes down from the governor of California and the governor of Florida saying, shut it down. Okay, well, that's fine. That's the right thing to do for public health, maybe. But how much of a loss should the Walt Disney Company take in order to do that great charitable public service in a way that other people don't have to? Why not help them through that?
And specifically, I'd like to see the people that work there be helped through that. In other words, it's not just, a bailout a la TARP style, as we saw at General Motors, but for the workers themselves. I don't see this going over so well, though, with a lot of Democrats right now. And again, I hate, and I've said this on this show, I got pretty mad about it the other night. I hate how they're politicizing all of this. But when you start talking about tax cuts for individuals and for businesses and for industries, it's going to get very political all of a sudden, very quickly, very soon.
Oh, all you have to do is tell them you're going to forgive their college debt or that you'll pay for their doctor bills, and all of a sudden, you'll be the most popular guy in town. Look, it's disgusting what they are doing right now. They are playing politics with life and death. And Trump's play here is so completely obvious. And this is what he's going to say tonight. He's going to say, look, you've got to join me in helping people through a shock. We've got to make America strong, because just as this virus is most harmful to people who are weak, it will be most harmful to economies that are weak. We can strengthen ourselves, and the Democrats can get on board, or they can be the people who are responsible for blocking the sensible, low-cost measures that could help us through this. This is just like after a hurricane or after the terrorist attacks of 9/11. The federal government should be there to just help people through these emergencies. That's what this is. That's an emergency. So let's get together, people, like we did right after 9/11. That's how to do this. We're all America.
The difference is it's Donald Trump there. And for whatever reason, I think we know the reasons, the left really, really, really despises him, hates him. And I think it's a tough pill for them to swallow right now, for people to say, okay, now you're going to work with this guy to save America effectively. This is what it's coming down to, right? You need to save American lives, and you need to save American prosperity. And, there's some people, I think, that still unfortunately want to dig in their heels and just point the finger and say, well, he's doing a bad job. How do you get beyond that?
Anybody who takes that position, let's just be honest, let's call it what it is. That's murder. Now, you don't know exactly who the victim's going to be, but there's going to be somebody who dies because of this virus, because he didn't have the financial resources to go see a doctor, because he was thrown out of work and didn't get any help.
Okay, well, they would say, you can fix that. You can fix that with socialized medicine. What do you say? They're saying, you need a better healthcare system. You need a socialized medical system in order to get around something like this. I mean, I look at Italy and how many deaths there are there. I look at, how China dealt with this, and I think it was pretty challenging for people there, frankly. They've got a handle on it, it seems, if you believe their numbers.
Right.
But, you look at places that do have automatic health care, and it's not as though they're faring any better, Donald.
Look, even if they were, we can't just snap our fingers and have Medicare for all and go back in time and face this crisis with Medicare for all. It's like that, idiot Mike Bloomberg the night before he got blown out in Super Tuesday. He was asked by one of the people at his town hall, how would you handle this differently if you were president? He said, oh, well, if I were president, this never would have happened.
Oh, well, you know
okay,
what?
We are not living in the fantasy lives of these people. We're living in the real world.
Yeah, you know what? I was pregnant with twins during the swine flu crisis, if you recall. And I'll never forget, I told the viewers this the other night, but I'll tell you, and maybe they can hear it again. Pregnant with twins, and I could not get access to a swine flu vaccine shot, not anywhere in the city. No hospital had it, no OBGYN had it. pregnant women and children were the most vulnerable, the most at risk. So I go down to the New York Stock Exchange to host my show, where I hosted it every single day. And the traders say, well, Trish, just go upstairs to the office. We got tons of them. And I said, what do you mean you got tons of them? Oh, yeah, the mayor's office sent them over. You know, Donald, Mike Bloomberg and his team, they got them from President Obama, and they made the decision to send them out to the New York Stock Exchange and every big Wall Street bank. So what do you know? Goldman Sachs had them, Morgan Stanley had them, but the pregnant women and the kids that needed them couldn't get the darn things. And that's an example of government making a decision on who gets what. Not good. So Mike Bloomberg needs to stay quiet on that one. Donald, good to see you so much. Thank you so much.